take out of my village. So I guess wrong, and my father shouts and points me right. Finally, I round the corner, my home is gone, and it all hits me. The mounting pressure and months of denial all explode inside me, and I burst into tears. I have just left from my front door to try to cycle around the planet. I have left behind everyone that I love. If I was a brave man, I would turn around right now, go home and admit that it was all too frightening. Instead, I keep pedaling. What on earth are you doing, Al? You bloody idiot. This is one of the worst moments of my life. Short on boldness. In order to ease myself in gently and to say some more goodbyes, I stayed with friends along the way through England to Dover. By the end of the first day, the face punch of reality had kicked in. I was knackered. This was going to be difficult in every way. I spent the first night at my friend Richard's house in Cheshire after a less than gentle 85-mile debut day. I could barely eat because of the nervous turmoil in my belly. After dinner, I leant back in my chair, listened to one of his father's corny jokes, rubbed the unfamiliar texture of my shaved head, and felt like I was on a runaway train, unstoppable and out of control, yet I did not feel strong enough to hang on. The next 100 miles to the home of a friend in Worcestershire was better, although it was hardly the gentle warm-up I hoped for. The last couple of months had been a blur of organisation and farewell parties and no time for exercise. A group of friends gathered for a barbecue. Duncan managed to inflict himself with food poisoning, and as I said goodbye to his prostrate form, I wished that it had been me. After one of his mum's legendary fried breakfasts, I was back in the saddle, and the end of England was drawing nearer. A sedate couple on racing bicycles asked me where I was heading on my fully loaded mountain bike. I couldn't bring myself to say Australia, as I had no faith that I was going to make it that far. I felt a fraud. I said Oxford, and they were impressed. I wanted to go home. August sunshine danced through the trees, and bees hummed their busy way. Families drove past, enjoying the warm day together. Huddles of friendly cows peered at me over the taut fences. I wound my way through the traffic-jammed London labyrinth to Ziggy's home. My friend Ziggy was also leaving England in a few days, to teach in the Botswanan bush for 3 years. He was having a large farewell party. I had chosen not to have a fanfare departure. Perhaps I was thinking of a likely, ignominious early return. With my loaded bike, which I had christened Rita, propped in the garden, people raved about my trip, but for once their incredulity struck home. Needing some space, I climbed onto the roof of the house and looked over the orange haze of nighttime London. Noisy laughter rose from the garden below, with the usual chatter about work, TV, gossip, and a little drunken philosophizing. I tried to remind myself that this comfortable swaddling was what I wanted to get away from. I left Ziggy's house to a roar of thunder. Heavy grey clouds choked London, and uncaring cars carved waves of rainwater over me. I cried my way out of London to Sevenoaks, a feeble 30 miles, before taking refuge with Arno, another friend from Oxford, and the most English of all Frenchmen. I phoned my girlfriend Sarah from a chipped red phone box and desperately wanted to see her. But I knew now how much I really loved her, and that I would quit if I saw her again. I delayed for a day, enjoying watching England destroy Germany 5-1 in a qualifying match for the 2002 World Cup. Morale began to rise a little. How could it not after that game? Once I left Arno's, I had no excuse to linger more. It was time to get going. Leaving England was a huge psychological barrier that I was very reluctant to cross, although I hoped that once I did it, things would begin to appear rosier. On my last morning in England, I made a conscious effort to keep my head up.